السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وأصلي وأسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. ما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله، وخير الهدي هدي نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. طيب, page 45. The last point was in how many days should we finish the Quran? We should do khatma. صح? This was the last point. طيب, and we mentioned it is between 3 days and 40. It is between 3 and 40 days. And if you remember, we mentioned that Nawawi rahimahullah mentioned that most of the Salaf, most of the scholars, most of the Muslims used to finish the Quran in how many days? 7 days. 7. خلاص؟ طيب. Then at the end he mentioned a point which is known as dua khatm al-Quran. Dua khatm al-Quran. Is there a dua when you finish the Quran? طيب. Now, if you open the Mus'haf, almost all of them, at the end there is something called dua khatm al-Quran. طيب. Is it sunnah or not? First of all, we should know we don't have any authentic hadith from the Prophet ﷺ that we have to say this dua. Okay? First of all, we should know that there is nothing from the Prophet ﷺ, nothing authentic from the Prophet ﷺ known as dua khatm al-Quran, the dua for the end of finishing the full Quran. طيب. What do we have? He quote something from Sheikh Bakr Abu Zayd. He quote something from Sheikh Bakr Abu Zayd. Sheikh Bakr Abu Zayd wrote a book about the dua khatm al-Quran, this dua. طيب. And he mentioned 2 points. He mentioned that about the point that in the salah, we don't have anything from the sunnah, even from the companions. Even from the companions, we don't have anything to say some dua. Okay, this is one point. The second point, outside the salah, I'm reading the Quran, for example, every day one part of the Quran, or every day 2 parts. So after 15 days or after 30 days, when I finish the Quran, okay, is it sunnah we make dua? As I mentioned, we don't have hadith, but we have something from Anas ibn Malik radiyallahu ta'ala an. He quote this. You can see this where in page 45. In page 45, you can see the below the middle. Okay, the first method deals with the one reciting the supplication of completing the Quran outside of prayer. It is related from our pious predecessors or from the first generation of this nation that they would supplicate on the occasion of completing the recitation of the Quran. This practice is ascribed to Anas radiyallahu ta'ala an. Yani we have hadith from Anas. An athar from Anas radiyallahu ta'ala an. Okay? He gathered his family and he made dua. He gathered his family and he made dua, Anas radiyallahu ta'ala an. Okay? But again I am repeating, it is not sunnah from the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Okay? So if some scholars said like here Bakr Abu Zayd, he said if you like to follow Anas that after the Quran you make dua outside the salah. We are not talking about the salah. Outside the salah, Anas did this, radiyallahu ta'ala. But again, it is not sunnah. It is not sunnah. طيب? But no doubt, this is not sunnah even from the companions during the salah. During the salah. Wallahi, in the masjid, in the haram, and there, this place, that place, they do specific dua for the Quran. The point is to follow the Quran and sunnah. The point is to follow the proof from the Quran and Sunnah, not to follow the scholars. Not to follow the scholars. طيب? So again, it is not Sunnah to recite dua. It is not Sunnah. There is dua after you finish the Quran. خلاص, after you finish the Quran, you start another khatmah. Alhamdulillah. I finish, خلاص, يلا, start again. When you finish, you start again. There is no specific dua after the khatmah. طيب? Yes. Muhammad, wait.
When the Imam makes the dua after finishing the salah, what do we have to do? Say Amin? When they
Which dua?
Any dua after completing the Quran, they make the dua. So what do we have to do?
If the Imam is doing something in the salah, of course, in the Taraweeh, when they make dua, okay, generally speaking, there is hadith that we follow the Imam. إذا كبر فكبروا, إذا كبر فكبروا, إذا ركع فاركعوا, وإذا قال والضالين فقولوا آمين. Okay, so there is general hadith that we should follow the Imam. But can we follow him when he does something I don't believe in it or not? Okay, some scholars said yes, some scholars said you don't follow him. Okay? Jalal, we spoke about this point last week. Okay? That Sadaq Allah al-Azim is not Sunnah. Sorry, saying Sadaq Allah al-Azim after every time I recite the Quran is not Sunnah. Yes. Mawquf, yes. Only Anas. We don't know, Allah alam, any other companion did this. And also, this is outside the salah, not in the salah. Yes. If he said, Wallah, because the companions or one of the companions did this, also some scholars are doing this, I can't tell him, Wallah, it is not Sunnah, and that's it. If he insists, Wallahi, Anas did this, khalas. I will not say you are mubtadi', you are innovating something in the religion, and we should boycott you. I'm not talking to you. It should not be in this way. Maybe you can say this, yes, because the scholars did this, or some of them.
The practice was like along with the family, or he was doing it alone.
Yes. Yes. If he did this with family, so even alone, you can do this. But we will not recommend to do this. We will not encourage people do dua after the khatna. Yes. Yeah.
As a common practice in our masajid where I am in Salmiya, a group of people after Fajr they do read 10 people, 12 people every day they recite the Quran and they make the Quran maybe once in 3 months, 4 months, the Quran comes to an end. And there will be a, mashallah, good gathering and then they will have a real good big dua happening after that. That is one point. The other thing is in every mushaf in the last we have the dua that has been given. So we take it as a point that it is something which after finishing the Quran we have to do the dua. So it is not part of Sunnah. But doing it, will it be kind of innovation or it will not be kind of innovation?
Again, about the second question, the dua, which is found after the Quran, and it is inside the Mus'haf, after the index or before the index, okay, we should agree that it is not Sunnah. But if someone reads it, okay, we cannot, difficult to say this is bid'ah, okay, because Anas radiallahu ta'ala and some scholars did this. But no doubt, if we avoid this, it will be safe. If we avoid this, it will be safe. And if you notice, every Quran has different kind of dua. The Quran of Kuwait different than the Quran of Saudi, different than Quran in India and Syria and America. It is different. Okay? About the first question, to make halqa, reciting Quran, this is okay. Okay? I mean, generally speaking, how? Wallahi, I read one page, then you repeat the same page. I correct your recitation. And the third one, shukran. the same page. So everyone is repeating the same page to correct. This is okay, no doubt. Or, alaykum salam, I read one page and you read the next page, he reads the third page. Also, this is okay. We are reading the Quran. طيب, but reading the Quran together, we should avoid this. All of us read the Quran in one voice. We should avoid this. Okay, yes, some scholars say this is okay for the boys, for the kids in the school to teach them. But the problem, this is not a good way to teach. Why? Because if you have, for example, 10, yeah, and this is good for the teachers. Okay, because we practice this in almost all of our schools. Okay, I ask the students, yalla, read together. Okay, the problem when they read together, you cannot correct them. Okay, if there is a mistake, from one of the students or from two of the students, you cannot pick up the mistake. And if you hear the mistake, you cannot know from which students. Difficult. Okay, so this is not a good way to correct the Quran. So doing this every day, they do dua every day, or when they finish the Quran. No, we should not do this every day. Every day we have halqa, for example, of the Quran, and we read the Quran, for example, 10 minutes or 20 minutes. Then when we end, the imam or the leader of the group, he raises his hand, and the people also raise, and they make dua. This is not the way of the scholars. This is not the way of the scholars. Okay, we should not practice this. Okay, يعني, there are many Muslims, they believe or they feel it is compulsory to do dua after every gathering. Okay, after the halqa, after recitation of the Quran. Okay, I remember when I visited India, okay, yalla, Sheikh dua. They feel it is compulsory. Okay, if you don't do dua, there is something wrong. Okay, khalas, we can't finish the halqa without making dua. Alhamdulillah. No, they feel it is a must. Oh, you Sheikh, raise your hand, make dua, and also we do dua together with you. Okay? This was not the practice of the ummah. طيب? After every fard prayer, there is dua. Yes. This is sunnah to make dua after the fard. The sunnah, you say astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. This is dua. This is dua or not dua? This is dua. When you say astaghfirullah, this is dua. Okay, but also when you say Allahumma anta salam minka salam tabarak hadha al-jalal al-karam Allahumma inni ala dhikrika wa shukrika wa husni ibadatik, this is dua. But the problem when you make dua together, the imam raises the hand and the people also they say Ameen with him loudly. This is bid'ah. This is bid'ah. Or if you alone, after every fard salah, I raise my hand and I make dua. Also Sheikh bin Baz said this is bid'ah. If you are doing this regularly, if after every fard salah, this is bid'ah. خلاص? طيب. Next point. Page 46. طيب. The sunnah is to refrain from reciting when one is overcome by sleep. Sunnah. I stop reciting the Quran. شنو هذا? Yes. If you don't know what you are saying. شوف the hadith, the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said in the hadith, إذا قام أحدكم من الليل فاستعجم القرآن على لسانه فلم يدري ما يقول فليضطجع. When one of you stands during the night being unable to properly recite the Quran or understand what he's saying, then let him lie down. شوف, the other narration is clear. If one of you becomes sleepy during prayer, then let him sleep or rest until his sleepiness goes away. Because if one of you prays while he is sleepy, he might try to ask for forgiveness, but curse himself instead. Okay, in the salah, okay, you are reciting. What you are reciting, you don't know. In the salah, in the sujood, for example, you are making dua. You want to ask the forgiveness, you curse yourself. You curse your family. You curse. This can happen, subhanallah. Okay? This happens sometimes, okay, you are very sleepy and your kid's asking you something. Okay, you say okay. Okay? Your wife asking you money, you say okay. No, for money you'll wake up. You are you'll pay attention. Money, khalas, you'll not sleep. But in the salah, you are sleepy. So this is sunnah. Or from the sunnah to stop reciting the Quran, take rest. Notice the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, you don't know what you are saying. Okay, because sometimes, well, I am tired. Okay, because many people misunderstand the hadith. I am tired, khalas. I stop my salah and I go to the restaurant. It means you are not sleepy. Okay, or stop my salah and I go to my iPhone or my Twitter and my job. And the point is, you are very tired. You reach to a level, I don't know what I am saying. What words I am saying. I am reciting the Quran, subhanAllah, properly or not. This way you stop your salah. Of course, it is about qiyamul layl. The Prophet ﷺ went inside the masjid one night or one day. Then he saw a robe. He saw the robe in the masjid. He said, what is this robe? They say, this is the robe of Zainab. Okay? Why she is using this robe? When she is tired, she will use this robe. She will catch the robe to help her reciting Quran and praying at night. Okay? The Prophet ﷺ said, حلوه, release, remove this robe. فَلْيُصَلِّ أَحَدُكُمْ نَشَاطًا. The one should pray according to his ability. If you can pray, pray. If you are tired, you are sleepy, don't pray. Take rest, maybe for 1 hour, then you wake up for the salah. Maybe nowadays we don't need this hadith. We need the hadith. Yalla, go and pray. Who's praying until? No need to tell people this hadith. Okay? No, we need to tell people this hadith. People should know the sunnah. طيب.
I don't know what I am reciting. Does it mean that I don't know the meaning? Suppose I am reciting something but I don't know the meaning. But
Sorry, the hadith means you don't know the meaning because you are sleepy, not because of the language. Not because of the language, because you are sleepy. طيب. Yes, you don't say, well, I don't know the meaning because the language, خلاص. So you'll not pray until you learn Arabic. Inshallah. You learn this from the bank, huh? طيب. He mentioned a point at the end of this. He said, at the top of page 47, when one begins to yawn, he should refrain from reciting the Quran. Okay? We don't have a hadith about this point. But subhanallah, usually, when you yawn, subhanallah, maybe you add something to the Quran. For example, والتين والزيتون وطور سينين وهذا البلد الأمين. So you are adding something for the Quran. Okay? So stop reading the Quran and yawn. Okay? We don't have a hadith, but this is some manners of the Quran. Some manners of the Quran. طيب. The next point, nice. Number 19. Once one begins to recite the Quran, is it recommended to recite continuously without unnecessarily stopping or pausing? طيب. He mentioned one athar from Ibn Umar. The last paragraph. Nafi' said, when Abdullah ibn Umar would recite the Quran, he would not speak until he finished his recitation. So this is from Abdullah ibn Umar. He likes to finish his recitation. خلاص. For example, I want to read the Quran for 20 minutes. or I want to read this surah. For example, Surah Taha. So he likes to read until he finishes the surah. He doesn't like to stop. Okay? But when he likes to stop, but I was with him one day when he was reciting Surah Al-Baqarah. He continued until he reached a certain place, and he then said, "Do you know what this was revealed about?" I said, "No." He said that it was revealed about such and such matter. So if there is a need, you can stop. Why? To clarify this verse. To clarify what is the revelation, why Allah revealed this ayah in this, or what time. Okay, so if I need to explain, for example, if there is a strange word for you, okay, so I stop, then I explain. طيب for example, the word al-kalala, okay, it came in Surah An-Nisa. So I stop, then I explain for you the word, what is the meaning of al-kalala, then I continue. So, but basically, if you read the Quran, finish your recitation. Finish your recitation. Okay? And this is the point about reading the Quran from the mobile. Reading the Quran from a mobile. Many times we stop the recitation because of what? WhatsApp. Okay? Bring tomato from the Jam'iyah. Okay? Or there is one WhatsApp from your friend. Sometimes there is joke. There is YouTube. There is, oh. So please, if you like to read from the mobile, put the fly mode. Okay? Put the fly mode. خلاص. Why? Because I am sure nothing can interrupt. But wallahi, I am waiting, important call. Okay. خلاص, open the Quran. I will not say it is haram, okay? But as a respect for the Quran, every minute you stop your recitation, for what? For jokes? You are not respecting the Quran. So put the fly mode, okay, to pay attention for the Quran and read from the mobile. Otherwise, use the mushaf. Use the mushaf. تمام؟ طيب, number 20. Number 20. Also, it is very nice and important. It is from the sunnah for the reciter to make tasbih, to seek refuge in Allah at a verse wherein punishment is mentioned, and to ask at a verse of mercy. Okay, we don't practice this sunnah. Maybe most of the Muslims don't practice this sunnah. When you read the Quran, okay, then there is a verse glorifying Allah. Stop and say, Subhana Rabbi al-A'la, or you say Subhanallah. There is hadith that the Prophet ﷺ recited Surah Al-A'la. طيب, سبح اسم ربك الأعلى. سبحان ربي الأعلى. You say Subhana Rabbi al-A'la. Tasbih. Okay? And also another surah, سورة الأنعام. قل هو القادر على أن يبعث عليكم عذابا من فوقكم أو من تحت أرجلكم أو يلبسكم شيعا ويذيق بعضكم بأس بعض. Okay? When the Prophet ﷺ recited this verse on Surah Al-An'am, Allah is able to send punishment from up, punishment from down, and also to make infighting. The Prophet ﷺ recited the surah in this way. قل هو القادر على أن يبعث عليكم عذابا من فوقكم. Then he said, أعوذ بوجهك. I seek refuge in your face. Then he continued the recitation, أو من تحت أرجلكم, or from beneath your legs. Then the Prophet ﷺ stopped again and he said, أعوذ بوجهك. Also he seek refuge. Then he continued, أو يلبسكم شيعا ويذيق بعضكم بأس بعض, or to make you sects and to make infighting among yourselves. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, هذه أهون. This is easier. This is easier. He means ﷺ, يعني the third one is easier, or يعني or it is less than the punishment from up or the punishment from down. So the Prophet ﷺ, during the recitation, he stopped, then he made dua. Okay? So this is sunnah to make these things, alaykum salam, in between. In between. طيب? Some scholars said this is only for Qiyam al-Layl. Some scholars said this is only for Qiyam al-Layl. Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ recited this in Qiyam al-Layl. Other scholars said no, you can't say this is for Qiyam al-Layl and other than Qiyam al-Layl. Why? Because if something happened in the Salah, طيب, يعني if the Prophet ﷺ said something or he did something in the Salah, for example, the Nafila Salah, خلاص, this will include also the Fard. Or if he did something in the Fard, this will include the Nafila. This is the rule. عليكم السلام. This is the rule. طيب. If you say, Wallah, this is for the Nafila or this is only for the Fard, I will ask you for the proof. يعني, for example, during the traveling, if you are driving the car, for example, from Kuwait to Mecca, okay, you can't pray the Nafila on the car. But for the Fard, you have to go down and you pray on the ground. Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ did this. He used to pray the Nafila on the camel. But for the Fard, where? On the ground. So now we have a proof from the Sunnah that there is a difference between the Fard and Nafila. Tamam? We have a clear proof. And also, at home, I mean, يعني, if you are in your country, okay, you pray the Nafila while sitting, but the Fard, you have to stand up. Okay? Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ said that when you pray while sitting, have the reward. But for Fard, the Prophet ﷺ prayed always on a standing position. Always. Of course, except when he was sick. Okay, there is one occasion, the Prophet ﷺ got injury in his leg, maybe sprained ankle, something like this. So he prayed while sitting. Tamam? Otherwise, he was standing up for the Fard. So we have a proof for standing and sitting. So for this dua, you can do this for the Fard and for the Nafil. For the Fard and for the Nafil. طيب? You travel a lot, صح? It is part of the adab, punishment. The Prophet ﷺ said, السفر قطعة من العذاب. الحمد لله. Why? You cannot ask them to land? Ask them to land. Okay. Which airline? Egypt? So don't travel with them again. The British airline give you the chance for praying? Kuwaiti? You cannot say anything for Kuwait, yeah?
So is it okay in that case to pray in sitting position?
Fard or Nafila? Brothers, please, brothers, sisters. For Fard Salah, okay, there are rules. I mentioned this in Friday's halqa. You have to stand up. You have to stand up for the Fard. Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha. You have to stand up for the Salah. طيب? So, if you can stand up, then you have to stand up. If you can, you have to. If you cannot, خلاص. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Allah will not ask you something beyond your ability. Okay? But there is a common mistake. Okay? What is the common mistake? You ask this شو يسمونه pilot ولا air host. Okay, you ask them, please, I want a place for praying. Said it is forbidden or it is not available. Okay, try with another one. Ask another one. Okay, don't ask only one because okay, maybe you'll get some wasita. يعني try your best. Okay, يعني some Muslims don't like to try. No, it will be a miss in the play. حبيبي يعني they are going to the toilet. They sometimes maybe I mentioned this. I remember one lady went inside the exit. There is a space in front of the exit, and she was doing exercise. She was doing well in front of everyone. So she did not feel shy to do exercise in front of everyone. Why you feel shy for your salah? Wallahi gharib, ajib. This is strange from some of the Muslims. They feel shy. You see the Muslim on the chair, he is praying. And this lady, non-Muslim lady maybe, she's doing exercise. Okay, go in front and pray. It is only 2 rak'ah. Maghrib 3 rak'ah. يعني it will take only 2-3 minutes, that's it. Okay, of course, don't understand that I fight with them. Okay, try politely. Okay, and also discuss them. يعني. Discuss. You pay money. You are paying money. You are not traveling free. طيب? If it is not possible, maybe there is no space, it is forbidden, they will put you in trouble. Okay, stand up in your place. Don't say I cannot stand up. Okay, why? Because خلاص, you can stand up in your chair. Allahu Akbar. For the recitation. صح? Can or you cannot? Why you cannot?
You say Allahu Akbar, خلاص, everybody around you will start shouting.
Why? Why shout? Which airline? India, okay.
So better you can traveler, you can make a qasr just correct.
Sorry?
For the traveler, you can make a journey.
قصر, yes, قصر, 2 rak'ah. Okay, why they shout?
Allahu Akbar is famous, Sheikh. Allahu Akbar.
Habibi, don't shout Allahu Akbar.
After that,
Silent, you should say silent. Allahu Akbar, خلاص, that's it, alhamdulillah. If you are shouting, the Muslims will beat you. There is a bomb or there is something. No, please, brothers, sisters, you have to stand up. You have to you have to do what you can do for the fard. Okay? So you can stand up for the salah, but maybe for ruku' it is difficult. Or maybe in some planes there is good space. So you can make ruku'. You can make ruku'. So do ruku'. But sujood? No, sujood very difficult. I cannot make sujood. So khalas, I will tell you, stand up and make ruku'. For sujood, sit down. Sit down and you bow your back. Or you bow your head. Enough. So do what you can do, please. But you say, well, there is no space for the salah. Khalas, you sit on your chair, Allahu Akbar. Habibi, try. You can stand up. You can stand up, you can do ruku'. Okay, you cannot make sujood. Or for example, maybe you are 3 people or 4 people and you are sitting together. Okay, so maybe you can, if you notice there are some planes, there is a space. So maybe you pray in this space. If you are not obese, if you are thin, you can do this. صح ولا لا? Do you agree? You don't agree? You don't agree? Why you don't agree? Okay. شنو what to do? The same thing. Why you are asking for women's rights? She has to do the same if she can. Please, brother, sister, I'm giving you a general rule. Do what you can do. And you should evaluate the situation. Maybe in this airline you can do, the other airline you cannot do. Okay, maybe it is possible for you, maybe it is not possible for the other one. Okay, it is okay for the man, it is not okay for the woman. Or maybe the opposite. It is okay for the woman, it is not okay for the man, maybe. It depends. Not every time the same thing. But the point is, please try your best without problems. Don't create problems. But try your best. خلاص؟ ولا Yes, not it is must to face the Qibla the whole time, not only the first time.
No, I am standing for that pray. I know that Qibla is this side.
Okay.
Plane is moving, that's obviously.
Which plane is moving? خلاص, it is from Kuwait to Canada. It is only one direction. Moving where?
Can be happens actually.
How? Tell me, explain, يلا. يلا.
And it's not going to be in the direction of the plane, no, maybe that's funny.
I mean the plane is not going around there.
Yeah, but you stand up in the seat, you're facing Canada, not Makkah.
Now,
When he comes back.
Okay, when you go.
suppose, okay, I am going to Canada. I am facing to the next.
Don't go to Canada.
Okay. So then I cannot face in the front. Then I have to put this back. Then how I will.
No, this is not your question. Your question, I face the Qibla only the first time. Okay? Facing the Qibla is one of the conditions. The scholars, most of the scholars say this is one of the conditions for the Salah to be valid. So I have to face the Qibla. Where is the Qibla? This side. Okay? يعني for example, you are coming from where? From England. The transit, Canada, England, Kuwait, صح? When you come near to Kuwait, so where is Mecca now? On your right. On your right. Okay? So if you can, okay, go to the right. If you can. And stay to the direction of Mecca. For example, okay, where is Mecca? In front of me. Okay, then the plane moved. Move with the plane. Move with it. If you can, again, I am repeating, if you can. خلاص? I explained this in details in Friday's halqa. Okay, you can find this in the halqa, صح? We upload this, huh? Azhar. We upload this lecture, huh? About the condition. Okay, inshallah we'll upload, we'll send this in the group. Huh? We should send it again today, inshallah, tonight. Okay, but the general rule, please, brothers and sisters, do what you can do again without creating problems. Okay? And usually the plane will go straight. Yes, maybe at the beginning it will go. And also there is a point that going to the right or to the left little bit, it's okay. And for example, where is Mecca? Mecca this side. It's okay if you pray in front. The Prophet ﷺ said, ما بين المشرق والمغرب قبلة. What is between the east and west is qibla. Okay? It means if there is a little bit of deviation يعني شوية, it's okay. It's okay. You are in the plane or if you are in your country, this is okay. Don't worry, inshallah. Ready? Okay, we have a break for the dinner. 10 minutes, inshallah. جزاكم الله خير. السلام عليكم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. طيب. Page 20 صح؟ point 20. Page 48. صح؟ So we mentioned that it is sunnah to say tasbih, to say, to ask Allah, Allahumma as'aluka rahmatak, for example, like this, during the salah. It's okay, during the salah. طيب? But of course, not loudly to bother the people with you. Should be silent, should be silent. Yes, also outside the salah. If it is within the salah, also we can do this outside the salah. I am reading the Quran, then I am reading something about the mercy of Allah. I ask Allah. طيب. Next point 21. Sujood al-tilawa. There is something called sujood al-tilawa. The sujood related to reciting the Quran. In the salah or outside the salah? In the salah or outside the salah. When one passes by a verse of prostration, it is sunnah It means it is not wajib. It is sunnah for him to perform prostration. When you read or when you hear, also, if you hear someone, for example, I am reading Quran with you. So I am reading, then I read verse about sujood. So I do sujood, and also you can do sujood. It is not compulsory, but you do sujood also. Tamam? What should we say in the sujood? We say, اللهم احطط عني بها وزرا واكتب لي بها أجرا واجعلها لي عندك ذخرا. Oh Allah, remove from me a sin for this prostration. Record for me a reward for this prostration. Save it for me. Another narration, وتقبلها مني كما تقبلتها من عبدك داود, and accept it from me just as you had accepted it from your servant Dawood عليه الصلاة والسلام. وتقبلها مني كما تقبلتها من عبدك داود. طيب, another دعاء, سجد وجهي لمن خلقه وشق سمعه وبصره بحوله وقوته. طيب, my face fell prostrate before he who created it and brought forth its faculties of hearing and seeing by his might and power. Okay, there is one point, يعني, to show you how, subhanallah, the scholars understand. Some scholars mention this hadith in the wudu chapter. They mention this hadith in the wudu chapter. What is the relation? This hadith, this dua about the salah, صح? What is the relation between this hadith or this dua and the wudu, the ablution? Okay, one of the scholars, I think Sa'id, I'm not sure, but I think Sa'id al-Musayyib, rahimahullah, one of the tabi'een, or Ibn Sirin, I'm not sure. So one of the scholars said, this hadith is a proof that in the wudu you have to wash your ears, not to wipe. You have to wash. Why? He said because this hadith is a proof that the ears are part of the face. The Prophet ﷺ said, my face fell prostrate before he who created it and brought forth its faculties of hearing. So, how you hear? Through your ears. So the ears part of the face. Okay. So subhanallah, he said, this is a proof that the ears part of the face. I'm not mentioning this point to discuss the ablution part, but I mentioned this to understand and to know how the scholars think and understand the hadith. You should know how our scholars are great. I'm not talking now this is authentic or not authentic. Okay, the sunnah that the Prophet ﷺ wiped the ears. But look how the scholars understand the hadith. طيب, there is a third hadith. اللهم لك سجدت وبك آمنت ولك أسلمت سجد وجهي للذي خلقه وصوره وشق سمعه وبصره تبارك الله أحسن الخالقين. Okay, this is the third dua. This third dua, if you notice, it is different than the previous one, the second one. It is more. So, if you read the hadith from the origin, I mean, it is in Sunan Abi Dawood and some of them in Tirmidhi. If you go to the origin, and this is what I mentioned maybe one of my lectures, that it is important for the student of knowledge to read the hadith from the source. From the source. You will find that the previous hadith about the sujood of the tilawah. But the last one, this is for any sujood. This is for any sujood, not specific for the tilawah. Okay? Clear or again? Jalan?
Yeah.
Clear?
So in the way, we can decide this one.
The last one you can recite in the salah or in the sujood of tilawah. But the second one specifically for the sujood tilawah. The sujood for the tilawah. Okay. Tamam? Next point, as I mentioned, it is mustahab, it is sunnah, it is not compulsory. Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ did not make sujood when, the hadith is mentioned, when Zayd ibn Thabit recited Surah Al-Najm. Zayd ibn Thabit was reciting Surah Al-Najm. And as you know, at the end of Surah Al-Najm there is sajda. Usually they put line on the verse. It means this is sujood. So it is not compulsory to make sujood, it is mustahab, recommended to make sujood. So Zayd ibn Thabit, he recited the ayah and the Prophet ﷺ did not make sujood. And also Umar, radiyallahu ta'ala anh, he was in Jum'ah. Then he recited surah, he made sujood. Another time he recited the same surah, he did not make sujood. Why? He said, Inna Allah lam yafrud alayna sujood illa an nasha. Because Allah did not make sujood fard, compulsory, except if we want. So it's up to us. If we do, it's okay. If we don't do, it's okay. So the sujood is not compulsory. The sujood is not compulsory. Next point. If I am not in the salah, I am sitting now on the table, I am reading Quran. So now I recited, for example, اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم. At the end of the surah there is sujood. Should I make wudu for this sujood or not? I'm reciting, sorry, not from the mushaf, from my memory. طيب. He said, sujood al-Quran لا يشرع فيه تحريم ولا تحليل. Okay, he said the sujood for the Quran, there is no takbir for the sujood, and also there is no salam. Yani no need to say Allahu Akbar and you make sujood. And after the sujood, there is no need to give salam. Tamam? And it is not a salah. He said, we don't need the conditions for the salah. I don't need to make wudu. I don't need to cover my awrah. طيب? يعني specifically for the sisters. Some sisters believe that I should cover my hair when I read the Quran. No, it is not a must. She can read, I mean the sisters, they can read the Quran without covering the head. It's okay. They can read. Even they can hold the Quran without hijab. It's okay. It's okay. Tamam?
Sheikh, do we need to recite that to the Qibla or the Qibla?
It is not salah. Shuf, he mentioned it is not salah. We don't need the conditions for the salah. So it is not necessary to face the Qibla. But no doubt, if you face the Qibla, if you make wudu, okay, no doubt it's better. Why? Because, you know, different opinions about the scholars. And if you can follow this, it's okay. That's better. The same thing, sujood shukr. No need to stand up from your position. For example, I am on the chair. I am reading Quran, or I am on the ground. I am reading Quran. Okay? No need to stand up. Khalas. From your position, go for sujood. Even without saying Allahu Akbar. Yes?
At the same time we have to go for sajda, we can take the time to complete the surah what we have.
يعني we don't complete the surah. يعني for example, يعني if it is for example Surah Maryam, it is not at the end of the surah. Okay? يعني for example, you finish this verse or the next verse and you make sujood. يعني this is put in the Quran where you make sujood, where to stop and you make sujood. Okay?
Sometimes you are reading Quran in the car or some other place.
Huh?
Okay, I think that you have to be wait till you go to the masjid or you have to be in that.
You can make sujood any place. Alhamdulillah.
Any place.
Any place you can make sujood. If it is possible, do sujood. We don't need to go to the masjid or until I reach home. Why do sujood? You feel shame?
No, it is in the car he's asking. It is not for us. There is no need to do the sujood also, right?
It is not in the car. In the car, sujood is not compulsory. Sujood is not compulsory. طيب? Okay, sorry. Before I forget, the number of the sajda. Now it is famous that when you open the mushaf, for example, here in Kuwait, how many sajda? 15. 1-5. Yes, the famous masahib. Maybe in some masahib 14. Okay, there is hadith that there are 15 sajda in the Quran. Okay, but some scholars say this is not authentic hadith. But you know there are certain ayat, no doubt there is sujood. For example, Surah Al-Najm, Surah Al-A'la, Surah Al-Inshiqaq, Surah Al-Alaq, Surah Al-Inshiqaq. No doubt there is sujood. But some of them, yeah, for example, in Surah Sad, some scholars said no, there is no sujood. Okay, but now what is famous among people? 15. Yes, maybe in some of them they are 14. Why? Because they are not including Surah Sad. They are not including Surah Sad. طيب?
In prayer, the Imam says the takbir. Prayer.
Yes.
You have to say the takbir.
Yes, and about the salah, the imam should say the takbir. During the salah, the imam should say the takbir. Why? Because some scholars said, in the salah, for every movement, the imam should say Allahu Akbar. The imam should say Allahu Akbar. This is, some scholars said this. Tamam? Next point. Yes, he mentioned a point that if you are not listening to the Quran, should I make sujood? يعني for example, we are in a masjid. Okay, so on this corner, there are two people reciting Quran, or one of them, and the other is correcting for him or listening to him. And in the other corner, for example, I am reading a book, a fiqh book, a seerah book, or maybe there is halqa. So the people who are reading Quran, they did sujood. Okay? And I hear them reading the sujood. Should I make sujood with them? No. Why? Because I am not listening to them. I am not paying full attention to them. I have my halqa, I have my own job. Okay? So I should not do sujood with them. But for example, mashallah, his recitation is very nice. And he's the other corner. And I'm listening to him from far, the other corner. He made sujood, I make sujood with him. Why? Because I am listening to them. Because I am listening to them. Tamam?
Sure, but for example, there's a command in Surah Najm, you're sitting there even if you're not listening. There's a command from Allah. So
The Prophet ﷺ did not make sujood. We mentioned the hadith. Hadith in Bukhari and Muslim. Zayd ibn Thabit recited Surah Al-Najm and the Prophet ﷺ did not make sujood. Okay, you saw you have the book? Yes. He mentioned this narration. It is in Bukhari and Muslim. قرأت على النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم والنجم فلم يسجد فيها. He did not make sujood. طيب. Next point, number 22, kissing the mushaf. Okay? Kissing the mushaf is not sunnah. We don't have any proof from the Quran or sunnah that after we finish the recitation, no need to do this. Okay? You kiss the mushaf on your forehead, your right eye, left eye, okay? On head. Why? Only in Chennai? For protection?
Yes, some people.
Protection if you read the Quran and if you understand the Quran and if you apply the Quran, Allah will protect you. But kissing the Quran, hanging the Quran, okay, it's not the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So it is not sunnah. It is not sunnah. طيب, next point, 23. It is disliked to hang verses of the Quran up on a wall. شوف, next page, there is fatwa from the scholars on page 53. There are 5 points. Number 1, by hanging up verses on deviates from the purpose for which the Quran was revealed, guidance, a good reminder, recitation, and so on. يعني why we should not hang the Quran? Because Allah revealed the Quran to read. Okay, not يعني to show the beauty of the writing, or writing some surah on a shape of, for example, an animal sometimes. No, we are not respecting the Quran. Number 2, this practice is contrary to the way of the Prophet ﷺ and his khulafa. Number 3, when we forbid this practice, we effectively block off a way that leads to shirk. Okay, we write the Quran on the wall and we hang them. Okay, why? No, this is good protection for the house. Okay, what is written? We cannot read. Or what is written? You are not respecting what is written. Okay, maybe you write Surah Al-Baqarah on the wall. But what you are doing in this room, dancing, music 24 hours, where is the respect of the Quran? Okay, so this can lead to shirk. This can lead to shirk. Khalas, because now people writing, later khalas, people will cover what is written, later people will write something different than the Quran. Later people will do the shirk. So we have to stop anything leads to the shirk. Number 4, the Quran was revealed to be recited and not to serve as a marketing tool for business. Okay, this necklace, what is written? MashaAllah. The other one, Allahu Akbar. The other one, Qul huwa Allahu ahad. Okay, why he is doing this? For money. Allah did not reveal the Quran to take the money in this through this way. Okay. Number 5, posters with verses of the Quran on them are susceptible to debasement, especially when one moves them from one house to another house. Okay, for example, in this poster written the Quran, Ayatul Kursi. Okay, khalas, now we want to shift the house. Where you will keep this poster? In the car, with the luggage, with maybe the shoes, with the books, and this is not the way of the Quran. Okay, so please, you want the protection? Read, for example, read Ayatul Kursi, read Surah Al-Baqarah, read the last 2 verses of Surah Al-Baqarah, not by hanging the Quran in the car or on the wall. طيب. Also, there is one point we can add. يعني we finished the points اللي هو this point 23. Okay, we can add one point. It is sunnah that you read verse by verse. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق. This is the sunnah. You read verse by verse. Because subhanallah, sometimes people compete who can read the surah fast or in one breath. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولا سوى. I finished Surah Al-Duha. No, I can't finish عما يتساءلون, and I can't finish قد سمع الله قول التي تجادلك في زوجها. The sunnah you read verse by verse. طيب. When you are reading loudly or silent, يعني we notice ourselves. For example, المغرب صلاة. If I am the imam, okay, الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. This is the first rak'ah, and also the second rak'ah. But the third rak'ah, الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. Wallahi, many imam or some imam, I cannot finish maybe half the surah. He said Allahu Akbar. When he said Allahu Akbar, okay, يعني, how he is reciting Surah Al-Fatiha? Why there is a big difference between reading the Fatiha silent or loudly? طيب? No, this is a mistake. Even when you are reading in the Dhuhr Salah, Asr Salah, read verse by verse. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin. Take your time. And I notice, I will not say many Imam, but some Imam, wallahi, I cannot read the Fatiha with them. I can't read the Fatiha. خلاص, immediately you will go for ruku'. I don't know why. يعني المغرب صلاة 10 minutes, Asr Salah 5 minutes. For rak'ah, 5 minutes. And do you know that the Sunnah, okay, most of the time, the Asr should be longer than Maghrib. The Sunnah, if you remember, we discussed this, I think. Okay, in Friday's halqa. Al-Asr, al-Dhuhr is longer than Al-Asr. And Al-Asr should be longer than Maghrib. Most of the time. But now, what is the practice? Dhuhr and Asr, the shortest salat. 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Maximum 7 minutes. Maximum. And if you do it 8 minutes, خلاص, you are done. مع السلامة. I told you, the Imam was absent and I led the Salah, I think 8 minutes. My friend says, شنو هذا? Long Salah. 8 minutes. طيب? So take your time when you recite the Quran. Take your time when you recite the Quran.
And what Imam we should complete our surah.
If you can't complete the Fatiha, complete the Fatiha and go. You mean ruku', not sujood. Yes. Finish the Fatiha and go for ruku'. But for example, if I complete the Fatiha, I will miss the ruku'. No, خلاص. Stop and go with ruku'. Go for ruku' with him. Yes, خلاص. If you think that you will miss the ruku'. طيب. Last point, شنو? Yes. Sorry?
We join Maghrib and we join the prayer after Surah Fatiha. Okay. Do we have to pray the rak'ah or?
No. If I join the Salah, if I join the Jama'ah after the Fatiha, خلاص, that's enough. If you caught the ruku' with him, that's it. تمام? I forgot the point. Yes, the last point, I don't know if I mentioned this point or not, but I will repeat if I mention this. When you recite the Quran, okay, if you notice in the Quran, there are how many juz? 30 juz, 30 parts or 30 chapters. And how many hizb? 60. Okay, and every hizb 4 quarters. Okay, this is not from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I mean these chapters, not these parts, not from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, why I'm saying this? Because sometimes you will find the end in between the story. For example, you are reading the story of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. In between there is the end of the quarter. You should not stop here. You can't continue to finish the story, especially if you are reading the Salah. Finish the meaning of the surah. Finish the meaning of the. Of course, it is not compulsory. It is not compulsory. Okay, but finish. But you know, sometimes, يعني, if you study the knowledge of tajweed, okay, there are certain places the scholars say it is good to stop here, and sometimes no, it is bad, or it is disliked to stop here. Why? Because the meaning is not completed. So يعني, you have to take care about the meaning, not the signs of the quarters. Okay? So don't feel bad. Don't feel bad if you stop before the sign or after. Because now we believe I have to stop here. Okay, no. Stop with the meaning. And the best, to finish the surah. If you finish the surah, you will be safe. That you are not interrupting the meaning. There is mushaf. If you notice, this mushaf has different colors: yellow, red, pink, blue, green. Yellow if it is about the Prophet ﷺ. Pink if it is about some rules fiqh, green if it is about the prophets. Do you see this? Mushaf? Okay? يعني some scholars say this is not, we are not respecting the Quran, making different colors. Okay, of course, جزاهم الله خير يعني, for their intention, they want to make it easier for us to understand. خلاص, this is the end of the story. Now we shift from the story to rules. Okay? So this way it is good to know the meanings of the surah or where to stop. This is good, but maybe it is not a good way that you make the Quran colors. تمام؟ خلاص إن شاء الله. Yes.
Some Muslims,
Some
in some Muslims they have this rukus,
ركوع.
marked rukus, for some sections.
إيه؟ جزء يعني, you mean جزء حزب.
Not this one, smaller part. Ruku. In India, no, they have.
15, like 15 ayah, there is a sign.
Exactly 15.
Every 15 ayah?
Exactly.
I don't know.
15 or 20.
إيه. It is maybe it is quarter حزب. Is it a quarter حزب? I don't. These are from the scholars, not from the Sahaba, not from the not from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Not from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yes.
I want to ask about the wall principle. The wall principle of Quran.
The wall?
Yes, wall principle. Basically, let me say a very simple graphic design that does prints for people to make interior decoration. And does a foam board. There's a foam board that you have to glue that rock glue on the wall and put it on it. Usually, there's some that will have for calligraphy of perhaps the entire sort of Fatiha, put in the sitting room, or perhaps in the bedroom. Is it right for them to do so? And is there any sin of design as well?
You mean those who are writing the Quran in some, they are posting, printing.
Or inside like this place,
Eh.
there's a foam board, you can, like this right, you ban on the wall. It seems to be like that in the entire
Eh. والله يعني, when I hold, for example, some Quran and I push it on the wall, am I respecting the Quran? This is bad, wallahi. This is bad. Allah alam, this is allowed or not. But yani, you know, I'm taking the Quran for what? And also we should think, this is for what? To decorate the house or the office? Why we are doing this? Decoration? Decoration, we should stop this. As we mentioned the fatwa. We should stop this. The Quran is not for decoration. The Quran to recite, to understand, for ruqyah, this is the way for Quran.
I think one exception is sometimes you find some ayat in the masajid. That's for pondering. Some ayat you find inside the masjid.
يعني we should avoid writing the Quran on the walls. Yeah, for example, I am now praying in the Quran. In some masajid, they write maybe full surah. Okay? So in Al-Asr Salah, I finish Surah Fatiha, then I start to read the Quran from the wall. It should not be this. Yes. Sorry, يعني, the wall of the masjid should be plain.
One more thing in India, when you build your house, you go to your friend, just they take first Quran, and when you get ready, bring your wife to home, they give first Quran.
You put the Quran in the masjid, in the house?
Yeah, they just first thing is Quran.
Why?
This is very correct.
Barakah, if you recite the Quran inside the house, you recite Surah Al-Baqarah, you recite Ayatul Kursi, but I keep the Quran inside. Allah alam. جزاكم الله خير. See you inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.